Namaste, it's Soraya here, and I'm continuing on with the theme of awakening to peaceful presence with clarity and grace. And carrying on from my previous video, which you can see prior to this one, talking about awakening. For those of you who have been on the spiritual path for a long time and perhaps learned many different modalities, perhaps studied with different teachers or masters, or read lots of books, we can get caught in the head. So in these videos, I'm really going to be talking about experience, and very practically. So we have to share that through words, and words can be tricky. So let's not get caught up too much in the language. Really, all I'm doing here is pointing. You know, that lovely Zen saying, focus on the moon, not the finger. So here there's just a finger pointing to the moon, so focus on the moon, not Soraya's finger. Something that I thought as I re-watched that little video I made yesterday was that many people do have an awakening experience, and that can happen just, you know, spontaneously in a moment, whether that's watching a beautiful sunset and just melting into that sunset, whether that's walking in the forest and all of a sudden we lose the sense of the separate self and we melt into the forest itself. It's when the separate egoic self vanishes or is not running the show, basically, and that we melt back into the oneness of all that is, into awareness itself. And this is when we awaken from the dreamed separate self of the separate egoic self running the show. All of a sudden that separate egoic self is gone, and we have a beautiful, expansive experience of simply being one with all it is. And many of us have actually had this experience, but that is an experience. Is that sustainable? Or something we really need to watch is, does the ego come rushing back in and claiming that experience, claiming, oh, you know, I'm enlightened, I'm awakened, I've melted into all that is. Because we're only awake in the moment of awakening. We're only awake to presence of being when we are, not when we slip back into that egoic self who is claiming that awakening experience. I hope you can see the difference there. You know, you look into a little baby's eyes and there's no sense of, you know, I'm little Sarah, or I'm little Freddie, or I'm little David and I'm separate to you. There is just this expansive, beautiful sense of beingness in their eyes, and no judgment, no separation. That is when we're having that experience of expanded past the separate egoic self with all the patterns that have built up over a lifetime, or maybe many lifetimes, all the patterns that are here that are reactive, all the belief systems, all the preferences of the egoic self. They're all valid, and that's all happening. But when we awaken to that peaceful presence, they're not primary anymore. that's the filter that we express through, but they're not primary. What's primary is the awareness of awareness, the clarity, the feeling of peace with whatever comes our way. And even if there is some human feeling or emotion that arises, which is of course, you know, very natural because we're human, then there's an okayness with that too. There's peace with that. So it's coming to that point where all is welcome here. All is welcome. So I just thought I'd leave you with that today. I'm hoping to build upon this. So please subscribe to my channel. There should be a little subscription button there, I hope. I've got someone that's going to help me with that. But please subscribe to my channel or pop over to my website, saraswati.com. And wishing you all love, peace, presence. Namaste.